Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Saturday, April 30th, 2011. We are at the end of the month. And we got, of course, the headline news for you today. And the headline news is, when you come down from the mountain, the devil's waiting for you. Let's look. We're in Matthew chapter 17. Verse 14, and when they came to the crowd, a man came up to him, and kneeling before him said, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is an epileptic, and he suffers terribly. For often he falls into the fire, and often into the water. And I brought him to your disciples, and they could not heal him. And Jesus answered, O faithless and twisted generation, how long am I to be with you? How long am I to bear with you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and the boy was healed instantly. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, Why could we not cast it out? He said to them, Because of your little faith. For truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Jesus has been up on top of the mountain with Peter, James, and John, and they saw some incredible things. Now they come down, and they're at the bottom of the mountain, and there's a crowd gathered. And this man comes up to him and says, Hey, teacher. Actually, he calls him Lord. Lord, have mercy on my son. So he got it. He said, Look, your guys, they can't do it. They said, Look, you bring him to us, we can cast out the demon that's in your son. We've been doing it, and we can do it with your son. But they can't do it. They're over there. Look at them. They're still trying. And he looks over at the crowd, and he sees Andrew over there. Demon, leave! Nothing's happening. And boy, Thomas, you try. Oh, demon, come out! And nothing's happening. All right, Bartholomew, give it a shot. Demon, go! And that's not working either. And they're all taking their turns trying, and none of them can get that demon out. And Jesus is like, He says, faithless and twisted generation, how long am I to be with you? How long must I bear with you? I really do think he was pretty ticked at this point. That was a pretty powerful experience he had with his three favorites. And I hate to say it, they were his three favorites. His three closest ones. But he comes down here to these guys, and man, they're just botching everything. He said, all right, bring your boy to me. And they bring him to him. He said, all right, demon, leave. And he's gone. Instantly, just like that. And I'm sure the 9 disciples were kind of embarrassed. So they didn't say anything right there in front of the crowd. But later on, when the crowd leaves, they come to Jesus. Hey. Why couldn't we do that? Why couldn't we cast him out? We'd cast him out before. We've been on trips and cast out demons. Why couldn't we get that one out? He said, you didn't have enough faith. See, these guys thought they could do it just because they were great. Because they were Jesus' disciples, and he gave them a commission, and he gave them some power. But see, Jesus says, you still got to have faith. You still got to let God do it. You got to believe he can do it through you. That's what faith is believing God can work through you. When you do that, you can do anything. He says, you see this mountain we just came down? You could, if you had the faith, you could say to that mountain, move from here to there, and it would move. Nothing would be impossible. But you got to have faith in the God that can do that. Not yourself. That won't work. It's faith. But faith means believing God can work through you. And that's what I would encourage you to do today. Now, as far as moving mountains, that means anything God wants you to do, you can do with faith. All right? If he doesn't want you to move a mountain, it doesn't matter how much faith you got, you're not going to be able to move the mountain. Anything he wants you to do, you can do. So, have some faith in God, not yourself. If you believe God's wanting you to do something, but it's just not going the way you think it should, well, examine the amount of faith you're putting in there. Are you trusting God to do it, or are you trusting yourself? And remember, when you're trusting God to do it, He may not do it exactly when or the way you would want Him to do it also. But if it's His will, He will do it. But you got to trust Him. That's faith. And the Bible also says another way to get faith, besides asking God to do it and then practicing your faith, another way to get faith is reading His Word. Listening to His Word, Romans 10:17. Go check it out. And we do this every day. So if you want your faith built, keep watching every day and come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.